Hey, what's up, Benzo? It's been a while since I, did that last video where it was like a response to you as PS1 Collection. My collection's grown quite a bit since. It's still not quite as big as yours is now or was back then, but I'll show you what I got now. And I'll get started right away. First off, you got Alundra. You got this game too. You see, you haven't really played it a lot, neither have I, but what I got out of it is it's probably one of the better Zelda clones out there. And yeah, I'd say for you, go ahead and play this game. I think you'll really like it. I mean, at least I know I should probably start playing this game a little more because what I've played of it was really good, and it's pretty sweet. Next one we got Final Fantasy Origins. Final Fantasy 1 and 2. Final Fantasy 1's pretty sweet, 2 not so much, but it's alright. But yeah, the black label, I got this right when it came out for 30 bucks. So, whatever, it's pretty sweet. Final Fantasy Chronicles, Final Fantasy 4 and Chrono Trigger, two of my favorite Super Nintendo RPGs. Just unfortunately, Chrono Trigger has incredibly long loading times, so that kind of ruins it. So, I would buy this game for Final Fantasy 4 and some of the cutscenes it has in that, but not so much for Chrono Trigger because you can get this on DS and you don't have any of the loading problems, or on Super Nintendo. So this isn't the ideal way of playing Chrono Trigger, but hey, you got a little bit of anime cutscenes. If you can put up with loading times and you want to see those, then go ahead for it. So Final Fantasy Chronicles. Next one we got is Final Fantasy VIII. I did a video explaining why this game is very important to me, so watch that. Final Fantasy IX. Very good game, still haven't beaten it, gotten close to the end. I saw my brother beat it, and I have the horrible strategy guide for this that was put out by Brady Games, I think it was, in conjunction with PlayOnline.com. And the funny thing is, when I actually went on PlayOnline.com, it was a couple years after it came out. It didn't have any stuff from the strategy guide anymore, so that was the end of it. Next, we got Cardia, The World of Fate. You don't have this game, and I'd recommend you at least pick it up for collector's sake. It's decently rare, but it's not too expensive. I got it for like $15. Unfortunately, it's missing a back insert, and it's got a few stickers on it, but I haven't played much of it. It's a straight up tactics game, even though it says RPG Sim on the cover, like right there, right next to the Atlas logo. I think this is one of Atlas's cheapest games in there, out of the PS1 era. And the funny thing is, on the back it advertises 4 very, very, very rare games. Persona, so there's Ogre Battle, which is a remake of the Super Nintendo one, Brigandine, and Tactics Ogre, which Tactics Ogre is easily an $80 game. It's one of those 1-disc things in a 2-disc case. Just like Alundra. And the next game, Legend of Legaia, which, hold on, the CD's kind of moving around a bit in here, which is a game you recommended to me. I really like the disc art on it. I thought that was really cool, but personally I couldn't get into it. I spent a little too much money for it, like 40 bucks, which by now it actually kind of rose in price, so it's around there. But it's alright. I couldn't really get into it. It's one of those games that I don't like that I know I should. One of those deals, but I don't know, I think it was just the fact that the next game I'm going to talk about, I played right before this and went straight into Legaia, and the next game I played just blew me away, and this was not quite blow away level, but still not that bad. The next one I played is, as I always talk about this game, Lunar 2 Eternal Blue. Watch any of my other videos and you'll know how I feel about this game. This game is freaking awesome. Everybody should at least play this game. I don't have the first one, unfortunately, but I'm really looking forward to it. If you don't want to spend too much money, just get the discs or something like that, or the Sega CD version, even though I think it's a little more expensive. But yeah, well, one of the best RPGs out of the 16-bit era when it was on the Sega CD. And yeah, it's really a shame that this series isn't as you know, widely known as like Final Fantasy. You know, if you tell somebody Final Fantasy, just a regular person who just plays video games, they'll obviously know. But if you tell them Luna, not so much, and it's of that quality that it should be that known, I think. Next one we got is Mega Man 8, a very fun side-scrolling game that looks very nice. I really enjoy it. And same thing as is Mega Man X4, same deal. And now we got one of the games you recommended me, which... No, that's after this one. Mega Man X5, not as good as X4, but it's alright. Now this is the game you recommended for me, which is Mega Man Legends. Pretty sweet game. I got all these Mega Man games in a lot for 40 bucks with free shipping. It's pretty sweet. I didn't realize that once I bought this that this is Mega Man 64 was a remake of this, which the cool thing about Mega Man 64 is this game has some pretty bad load time. Not that bad, but it's up there, and Mega Man 64 doesn't have them. And actually Mega Man 64 I think is a little cheaper. I don't really know any differences between the two. I'll get Mega Man 64 because that's what I played when I was a younger kid and I rented it a million times, but hey. I should have known right away because the cover art's the same. I'm being stupid there, but hey, if I have both, it's cool. Next is one of the most addicting games I've ever played in my life, Monster Rancher 2. Man, I really recommend you check this game out because it wasn't very big, you know. It went totally under the radar, and the thing about this game is it's pretty rare. It's not too expensive. It's maybe, yeah, I guess say 25 bucks or so. But you know, the one thing that's cool about this is CDs give you monsters, so you can check every single CD you have. If you're on PS3, you know, Blu-ray discs would work, which is pretty sweet. It just depends what your thing would read. Whatever your PS2 would read, whatever the highest caliber it is, you know, like PS3 Blu-ray. So yeah, you know, it's a very good simulation game with some RPG elements. It's one of the best my favorite gems on the PS1. And the next one is actually another gem I really enjoy on the PS1, which pretty much, you know, is, I think, you know, it's a decently popular game, but it's not as, you know, it's pretty underrated. Omega Boost. This is actually featured in a song by FL65, if you remember them. They did that like I'm Blue Dabba-Dee Dabba-Die song, and I actually bought that album when I was like in kindergarten or first grade. Jesus, but yeah, it was just a song that I just mentioned a lot of PlayStation games. But yeah, this game is pretty sweet. It's a 3D shoot 'em up, basically. Think of StarCraft, not StarCraft, Jesus, Star Fox all range mode, but you know, that's the whole thing. They got 2 more games and I don't have a lot of time, so I'll just tell them real fast. Tekken 3, it's one of the 3D fighting games from the 90s that doesn't feel terrible and it's still sweet. And Tenshu Stealth Assassin.